All right, so we're gonna look at 15, fairly common dated coins that could be worth big money, that could be hiding in your pocket change. At least some of these coins could be hiding in your pocket change. But first, we're going to look at a 1977 quarter. All right, so this quarter is a fairly common dated quarter, and this coin is a very common date. It's an example of a very common date that could be in your pocket change every day, or even in coin rolls from the bank. Now, what makes this coin special is that it was struck on a 40% silver planchet. So not a 90% silver, but a 40% silver planchet. So let me explain the difference. 1964 and before are going to be 90% quarters. But in 1976, this quarter with the S mint mark, they made some of these with the S mint mark as 40% silver quarters. So just because you have this quarter doesn't mean that it's silver. You gotta look for the S mint mark. These are gonna be the 40% silver. Now, if we go back to this 1977 quarter, how in the world did this quarter become a silver quarter when it was not supposed to be silver? Well, this quarter was in 1977, and this quarter is in 1976, so that means that this quarter was struck on what this quarter was supposed to be struck on, if that's not too confusing for you. So how in the world do you tell the difference if the quarter is silver or not? Well, first, you can weigh the coin, so that's a good thing. This coin here weighs 5.7 grams. 5.7 grams. All right, so a regular quarter weighs 5.67 grams. That is how much the quarter is supposed to weigh. 1977, 5.67 grams. However, that 40% quarter weighs 5.75 grams. That's how much those quarters weigh. So always keep that in mind. This quarter sold for over $4,900, so nearly a $5,000 coin. Alright, so this is a very famous coin to look for. You can definitely always find 1969 pennies S mint mark, but what you want to look for is the doubling. You can see the doubling on this is very noticeable, extreme. So if you guys can't see it from a distance, you definitely want to get you a USB coin microscope. I have those available on the website couchcollectibles.com. You can see the phrase "In God We Trust," the word liberty, as well as the date 1969 itself is doubled. Now this coin here sold for over $86,000. $86,000 because of that doubling and because of its grade. You see here on the coin slab, it's graded by PCGS at a mint state 63 red. So that is what's gonna give it value. So keep in mind, all the coins that I'm showing you in pretty much all my videos, the value is always gonna be dependent on the condition a lot of the times. So the higher the grade, typically the more money the coin is going to sell for. Now if you have this 1969 S double die and it's not in as good of condition, it's still going to sell for some good money, just maybe not $86,000. So it really just depends on how high the grade is, but still, even a 1969 S double die in bad condition is still gonna sell for some good money. Alright, so let's move on to the 1992. Now this is a very famous penny as well. I'll try my best to explain this. I wanted to recap a couple of coins that I've covered in the past because a lot of people get confused and have questions in the comments, so I want to clear some things up. Now this 1992 here has got a close AM. Now you can find 1992 pennies and your pocket change all day long, but what you want to look for is this close AM here on the reverse, the A and the M of the word America. So that is what is going to give it its value. So here's an example of a close AM and a wide AM. We got the wide AM here separated up top, not touching, and then here on the bottom we have the close AM, so you can really see the big difference there between the top and the bottom image. Now if we go back to this coin, the 1992 close AM, now this coin is graded at a mint state 64 red brown. So again, if you find one of these coins and it's even in better condition, then you never know, you could get more money out of it depending when you sell the coin and the demand for them. Now this penny sold for over $20,000. $20,000. Now just to give you a perspective on some different coin prices, just like the 1969S, if you look at your 1995 pennies, you want to look for a double die obverse. Now you can't see it here from a distance on this coin, right? But if we zoom in here, you can see the lettering is doubled, the word liberty there is doubled, Always be on the lookout for that. That is so simple to look for, guys. You can find 1995s all day. Get a box of pennies from your bank, 25 bucks. Search through them, separate all the different dates, and then bam, just put them underneath the microscope and start searching all those 1995s along with these other dates that I'm gonna show you. You can see that doubling there here on this image, and this coin sold for over $3,800. $3,800. But to kind of give you a perspective, here is the same exact coin that is graded at about uncirculated 58. It's got that doubling. However, this coin only sold for a little over $100. So we go from a $100 coin to over a $3,000 coin because of that grade. That's how important that grade is. And again, this 1995 is graded at a mint state 69 red, so nearly a perfect graded coin. Mint state 70 is the only higher grade than that. So let's keep on rocking, guys. Now let's move on to this dime. This is a 1968 dime. Now in 1968, these coins were not supposed to be silver. So here on the left is an example of a 1964 silver dime. Here on the right is an example of a 1965 clad dime. It's not silver at all. And then you can see here on the left, the silver dime weighs 2.5 grams. The non-silver weighs 2.268 grams. So if we go back to this 1968, it is struck on a 90% silver planchet. It does weigh 2.5 grams like the silver dimes are supposed to. So this is just simple to look for. You can just put your coins on a scale if you happen to come across one and they kind of look silver to you. I have coin scales available on couchcollectibles.com as well. This dime sold for over $5,700. A $5,000 dime. Alright, so if we move to a little bit modern coins, we have a 2004. I know I've covered this in the past, but there's been a ton of new people that have subscribed to the channel, so I definitely want you guys to see this one. 2004, I mean, how much easier does it get? You can find these all day from coin rolls from the bank or in your pocket change, 2004 quarters, but what you want to look for is this. Alright, so this is 3 quarters here. So on the middle one, you can see that there is no extra leaf here, but here on the left, we got the high leaf, and then here on the right, we have a low leaf. So that is an extra low leaf there, an extra high leaf here, and then we got no leaf. So typically, the middle one here is what you're gonna find. That's how it's supposed to be. But the more rare ones are going to be with that extra leaf, high leaf, low leaf. So here's that Wisconsin quarter from 2004. It is graded at a mint state 67, so it's in very good condition. It's got that extra leaf, the high leaf, and this quarter sold for over $2,000. So a nice profit there for someone who probably came across this quarter maybe in a roll of coins. So very nice $2,000 quarter. Now 2009 quarter, again, such a common coin that you can look for. Now it is the District of Columbia quarter here on the reverse, featuring Duke Ellington sitting next to a piano. And what makes this coin valuable, it's got a double die reverse. And here's that example. You can see the doubling here on the lettering of his last name, Ellington, and also on the keyboard. So you can always look for this. There's actually a few different types of these out there. So always look for that doubling on that quarter there by his hands. So this quarter here sold for over $3,000. Something to just always look for. But again, here's an example of a coin grading scale, and you can see here on the left, AG3 means about good 3. That's very low on the scale. And then we got MS69, which is mint state 69, and the mint state coins are really going to be the more valuable ones because they are in better condition. So always keep that in mind. Let's move on to the 1943 penny. So we know in 1943 we're supposed to have the steel penny. This is what they produced in 1943. They did not produce any copper pennies. Well, they at least were not supposed to produce any copper pennies or any other penny besides the steel penny in 1943. And that was only a 1-year thing, okay? But this penny here sold for over $200,000 because it's the 1943 penny, but it was struck on a bronze planchet. So this is going to be simple to look for. All you got to do is look for a copper or a bronze penny that has the date 1943. And then after that, then you can send it to a grading company and get the coin authenticated. Now I know a lot of people ask how to sell coins, how to get them authenticated. I do have coin grading videos, and I have a video of how to sell coins. Be sure to go check that out. But pretty much to sum it up, I think eBay is probably going to be your best option in most cases. And you can go to pcgs.com if you would like to get your coins graded. So feel free to do that. But this coin is a $200,000 coin. Now here in 1944, they were supposed to go back to the copper pennies and no longer produce steel pennies. However, this is a 1944 penny that was struck on a zinc coated steel planchet. So that's what's going to give it all of its value. These types of errors right here, they really don't matter what condition. Well, I guess condition always matters, but what I mean is that even in bad condition, these coins are going to sell for a lot of money. But again, the higher the grade, the prices of these coins will skyrocket. But this coin here sold for over $37,000 because of that mint error. Now the famous 1955 penny, this is so simple to look for. It's just like any other penny you're searching. You're gonna put it underneath the scope when you find a 1955 penny, and bam, if you got a double die, you got one. If you don't, you don't. Now this is some extreme doubling taking place here. You can see that the whole lettering and the date 1955 is doubled there, and this coin sold for over $35,000. $35,000. Now here is a pretty cool penny. This is a 1959. Now this is gonna be the cheapest coin of this video, I guess you could say. This coin sold for a little over $500, nearly a $600 coin, but it's because it's been double struck and rotated in collar. So you can see here the double strike taking place. The design of Lincoln is on there twice, and that design that was double struck is rotated. So you kind of see how the date 1959 is over on the left side, and then here Liberty going through his forehead. So that is what that error is. And then we see that again here on the reverse of the coin. Like I said, this coin sold for nearly $600. Sticking with the pennies, now in 1983, now I've explained this in a lot of my 1983 penny videos and 1982 penny videos, so definitely check those out for like a further in-depth explanation of that. This is a 1983 penny, looks like a normal penny. However, all you have to do with these pennies is weigh them. Like I said, you want to get that coin scale. Once you weigh it, if it does weigh 3.1 grams, then you might be in for some big money, because these coins are actually supposed to weigh 2.5 grams. However, this was struck on a copper planchet. And as you guys may know, or maybe you don't know, in 1982, that was the transitional year from copper to zinc. And I explained that in the different weights in those 1982 and 1983 penny videos that you can find here on my channel. Or you can just type in 1982 penny couch collectibles and you can find those videos here on YouTube as well. Now, this coin sold for over $23,000. That's why it's important to weigh your 1983 pennies. A $20,000 coin. It's graded at a mint state 62 red brown. Now, of course, typically you're not going to find a proof coin in your pocket change. I have found them in coin rolls and in pocket change, but it's not something that happens every day, you know? It's pretty rare to happen sometimes. But this is a 1998 S Mint Mark proof penny. So I know a lot of you guys that are new, what's the difference between a proof and a business strike? Well, here's kind of an example of just showing you guys the visual difference. The proof here on the left is going to be a much more detailed coin, and it's going to have that shiny mirror-like finish. But the business strike here on the right, those are the coins that you're typically going to find in your everyday pocket change. But we're just going to show you this one because it's a really cool error. This is a 1998 S proof penny that's been double struck and rotated in collar. Similar to that other penny we looked at, you can see the date here twice. You see the word Liberty twice, and it's not rotated as much as the other penny was. But you can also see the phrasing "God We Trust" twice underneath that. So that is a really cool error. Now those are pretty obvious. You wouldn't really need a microscope to see something like this. This is pretty obvious. We see that there here on the reverse. And again, this coin sold for over $4,000. 4,000 bucks. Now, this is pretty cool here. These are something that you can literally go to the bank and get rolls and rolls of because they have so many of them. Sacagawea dollars and presidential dollars. So this coin is supposed to look like this with the front and back, the obverse and reverse of the coin. However, we got this reverse and we got this obverse of the Washington quarter. So that is very interesting. It is muled with a 25-cent coin and a dollar coin. So that is really, really awesome. This coin sold for over $88,000. So that is a huge, huge price for those. And we also have another dollar coin here. This is a presidential dollar coin. From a distance, doesn't look like much. However, it's been triple struck, broad struck, and it's missing the edge lettering. So we can see that triple strike and broad strike taking place here on this John Adams presidential dollar. It is fairly obvious type of error, but hey, it's always something to look for on your dollar coins. Like if you get bored and want to search through a bunch of dollar coins, the bank literally has tons of them. At least my bank always does. And here is an example of the missing edge lettering. So here's the edge lettering. You see the date 2007D, and you see the other ones are missing. So that's something to always look for on your presidential dollar coins. Now this coin here sold for over $1,300, $1,300. Seriously, leave a comment below right now, and until tomorrow, I will see you all in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.